Hi, I'm Barry Gordon.
And I'm Andre Coleman.
And this is NewsRap Live at 5. Well, Dre, dark days.
They are ahead. It appears.
Yes,
they are ahead.
And behind, and now,
Especially tomorrow.
It's not going to go very well, is it?
I guess in the end, this is where we were going to get at some point.
You have no idea what we're talking about. We just kind of plunged you into dark days. This could be a meteor getting ready to hit the earth.
This
you have
rock
no
kind of
idea what we're saying here.
Yeah,
obviously we're talking about Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know it's not a meteor. You know it's not a meteor because you didn't get a presidential alert on your cell phone or.
Oh, I got one. I got what yesterday was it at 11:18?
Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing how the national emergency sends out an alert of a national emergency.
I know.
But okay, dark days.
Yes, dark days. I mean, for anyone who's progressive, and I'm assuming that most of you are. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, what the heck are you doing watching this show? So I'm assuming you are. So, it's going to.
It's going to happen.
It looks like we're going to put this guy on the Supreme Court, and my feeling at this point is, even if he didn't do it. Even if for some reason Blasey Ford was mistaken, and I don't believe she is, but even if that was true, his display
we are beyond if he did it.
Of ridiculousness at that hearing is unbelievably offensive.
The hate, the
nothing
rage
that belongs on a Supreme Court justice.
Right. Well, if we were going to get to this point, then we didn't need this extra FBI investigation last week. They could have done it then, and we could be beyond this because here we are. I mean, it's happened, and this is the first time that justice.
Wait a minute. I didn't realize there was an FBI investigation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Was there
the playground excursion?
Yes,
over the past week.
The strangeness,
the meeting in the clubhouse kind of thing.
I don't know what was going on there.
Like an hour gang play or something.
I know.
But I mean, if it was going to happen, then let's do it. But this is the first time I think that a justice has been have been confirmed on.
This close maybe because Clarence Thomas was the closest, and that was 52-48.
This will be probably what?
Probably 51-49.
So it's going to be extremely.
Yeah.
You know.
It's very interesting that
I can't think of. Put up that picture of Mitch McConnell again. I have to make this point.
Must we? Okay.
Yeah. Show me that again. Freeze that if you can. This cat always looks like he's afraid the police are about to show up. Get a load of the kisser on this dude, man. He always looks like he's afraid the law's about to kick in his door. Every time I see him. You know I'm telling you the truth. Look at him.
Yeah.
Satisfy them. They're dug in. You've seen it from the beginning.
Look at the suit on the guy
with that,
behind him.
I want to turn it over to Chairman Grassley and the members of the committee who I think have done a really outstanding job.
Thank you.
Well, I can't talk. I mean, I'm going to be 70.
Now he's going to disappear like Richard Kimball because he knows the law's about to show up. Look, he's out of there. The law's coming. Where'd he go?
In this order will be Hatch, Corn, and Lee and Tillis, so please just come.
All right, let's kill it.
All right,
podium.
Please. Anyway, but the real disappointment, of course, was Collins today. And, who always seems to sound like she's going to be brave.
Well, Flake Collins.
And then decides not to.
You know, they do a lot of talk about how they're anti-Trump.
May I say she flaked out?
Oh.
Can I say that?
You said it.
Okay.
You said it, brother.
Did. All right.
But will we get Matt Damon back on Saturday Night Live?
I don't know.
Let's hope so, because that was great.
I don't know. It was funny.
That was great. So what's on Facebook?
Nothing major yet. I see a note from Behind the Curtains.
Okay.
Who says, "Hi guys, now he knows how we feel." I guess that's referring to Mitch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could laugh, but they keep winning. You notice that, right?
But why? Why, Barry? Why do they keep
winning?
Winning. But why? Tell me why.
Because they're not afraid to fight dirty. It's that simple.
And
they're not afraid to fight dirty. And as much as they say that the Democrats are fighting dirty, I can't see any evidence of it. I think the Democrats sometimes are stupid. They fight dumb. I think that Feinstein's office probably blew the timing of that whole thing and should have reached out to Blasey Ford earlier and all of that. And maybe that wouldn't have been that kind of distraction. But I think that it's very easy for them to kind of blow up the rule book.
Well,
and I think they did it again with this FBI investigation. I don't know what shenanigans went on, but it certainly was not a full investigation.
The mistakes that the Democrats make, and this is what you are going to see, and we're going to come back to this a little bit later, is that if the Democrats win the House, the Republicans will surely state that now is the time to work together.
Oh, of course.
And as you and I know, the Dems fall for that. I mean, think about it this way. Barack Obama, in his first term, first 2 years, we had the White House and the Congress.
Yep.
And they did not give him the support he needed to push forward the agenda time and time again.
Nope.
So understand, what the Republicans have right now is what we had when Obama was elected.
That's right.
And time again, he did not get the support he needed to move the agenda forward.
That's
and
right.
And then the Democrats got massacred in the midterm elections.
Yeah.
And here we are, for lack of a better
here
phrase.
we are, a few weeks away from another midterm election. And look, we have an opportunity. And the only opportunity is to fight hard and to get back the House. It's starting to look less likely. Last week, we thought maybe we'd have a shot at the Senate. This week, they're saying that's a lot less likely.
There's blew up in the Democrats' faces.
You know, kudos to Heidi Heitkamp,
Right.
who took a chance and was brave. Not the same for Joe Manchin, who I really think is just a Republican with a Democratic label. I mean, I don't get him at all.
Let's do these briefs and then let's come back and hit that.
Why don't we do that? Here's what's happening locally.
PUSD is under attack once again. This time it's from the United Teachers of Pasadena, who in a September 23rd letter to Board President Larry Torres declared a vote of no confidence in the performance of PUSD Superintendent Brian McDonald. The letter said Superintendent Brian McDonald continues to promote a culture of divisiveness and non-accountability. The letter goes on to say that McDonald's efforts to right-size the district have led to a decline in teacher morale and an increase in personnel leaving the district. The letter closed by saying that while they believe McDonald was sincere in wanting to take the district from good to great, he was not a good fit for Pasadena.
Caltech professor Frances Arnold was awarded the Nobel Prize for Chemistry. Her work in directed evolution is an important tool in the production of alternative fuels, agricultural tools, and drug development. She is the fifth woman to win the Nobel Prize for Chemistry and the first woman at Caltech to receive the award.
Last night, Pasadenans Organizing for Progress, the Coalition for Increased Civilian Oversight of Pasadena Police, and the Pasadena branch of the NAACP facilitated a conversation at the Alkebulan Cultural Center. The topic was community policing the police, and is part of a series of conversations intended to bring Pasadena law enforcement face-to-face with the community they serve. The conversation, moderated by Ishelle Williams and James Farr, included Lieutenant Aguilar of the Pasadena Gang Unit and officers Milton White Jr. and Trayvon Saylor, both of who worked the gang unit. The officers spoke about training and how they as individuals try to work to de-escalate during stops. The community members were more concerned with making sure that no more young black and brown men fell victim to officer-inflicted violence. Many in the audience felt that the wrong officers were in the room. The hope is that the conversation is expanded and that the department is serious about being accountable to the communities they patrol.
So it's always important to know what's happening locally.
Yes.
And we try to tune you into that with our news brief that we try to do every week or almost every week.
Great package again. Great
Yep.
package.
Thank
and these
you
are
very
events,
much.
too, that you can attend and you have a say in. So don't be afraid to find out what's going on in the community and check this stuff out.
Exactly. And we do have a comment. We have a Facebook comment from Emmanuel Nahara. And the comment is, Democrats want to reason with feelings while the Republicans want to reason with facts. Really, Emmanuel?
Wait, Democrats want to reason with feelings.
Yes.
And Republicans want to reason with facts.
Yes, Emmanuel, the Republicans wouldn't know a fact if they fell over it under a street lamp. What facts, have we heard from Republicans that are verifiable in the last how many weeks?
Well, I will tell you what, all of those facts that Kavanaugh broke down when he kept drinking water and crying.
Oh, yeah.
With all the creepy calendars.
Those were facts.
Those were amazing, amazing facts. I mean, I've never seen facts on that level before. That was an amazing moment.
It was a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
You know, right now, the Republican leadership, who have we got? We've got Trump, and words are not enough to express.
Whoa. Wait, the king of facts, Donald Trump.
The king of facts,
Okay.
the absolute king of facts. Then we have Mitch McConnell, who lies every time he opens his mouth. And we have Chuck Grassley,
Who sounds like he has marbles in
runs
his mouth.
and runs the committee like a dictatorship. And we have who else, right? Keep going. We'll just keep going because there are no facts coming from that side.
Huckabee
I'm
Sanders.
sorry.
Hey, Emmanuel.
Wait a minute, Emmanuel. Thank you, Emmanuel. I just got that. He corrected it. He meant sorry, alternate facts. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going with you there.
Now we're on the same page.
Now we're on the same page.
All right.
But that's true. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
But do you know that the Washington Post, which has been fact-checking the Trump administration, is past 5,000 lies.
And that's just today, probably.
I won't go that far.
Maybe the last hour.
It's during his administration, but yeah.
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 So sorry about that. But
We are.
It's good to clean it up.
Something else happened today, too, because it reminded me when we were watching the news brief about the Community Policing Forum.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a little bit of justice today, right?
Laquan McDonald. So the officer that shot and killed Laquan McDonald was convicted of second-degree murder today. And it's amazing because after that, there were the pundits and the commentators saying it's a great day for justice. Now, it is a great day in Chicago that this officer is going to jail, but across the country, this is not a great day for justice because
no.
The idiot who was about to go on
verdict. A jury in Chicago has just found Officer Jason Van Dyke guilty of second-degree murder. He was on trial for the death of 17-year-old Laquan McDonald. He shot 16 times back in 2014. You see him here as the verdict is being read. Originally charged with first-degree murder, but jurors were allowed to consider second-degree charges, according to the judge.
And what happens if any of these issues end up going to the Supreme Court?
Well, I'm sure they told him, be cool, chill out. Because if this goes to the Supreme Court, you're going to probably walk. All that police reform that we've been talking about on this show over the last several weeks, if any of those bills go to the Supreme Court or any of those issues, it's probably getting tossed out.
Yeah.
That's what this means. This means Roe v. Wade is probably gone. Voting rights, start looking closely because it's going to probably be impacted.
Right.
Those two right off the top are the ones that I fear will take the biggest hit.
I'm going to pose a crack.
Okay.
The tiniest crack
Of hope?
of the possibility of hope.
You know, let me do my Kavanaugh impersonation.
All right.
Was that enough water?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
enough. Yeah, I think
Go
so.
ahead.
It was also the Marco Rubio impression.
Exactly.
But yeah, right.
Okay, so the tiniest crack of hope.
The tiniest bit of hope is that on some of these really, really tough ones, Roberts may flip.
What's the tough ones?
Roe, voting rights. Remember what Roberts did with Obamacare.
I do.
And he is enjoying his role as a consensus builder.
Who flipped on gay marriage? Or that was California?
I don't think he flipped on that. I think that was Kennedy. It was 5-4.
It was Kennedy,
wasn't it?
5-4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think he flipped on it. But that's a little different because we're talking about that wasn't overturning a precedent.
of
That
course.
was creating
That
a
was
precedent.
creating one.
So we had an excuse there. But I don't know. I mean, Roberts, I've listened to a couple of oral arguments with Roberts, and he actually asks some very sane, reasonable questions. Now, whether that's ultimately going to affect his vote, I don't know. But
Barry sees some hope.
It's certainly a possibility, and that could surprise.
Well, see, I see hope in a different direction.
Okay.
Man, we got to get out and vote.
Well, of course, that's huge.
No. It is time for the Democratic Party to stop putting their hope in the Republicans doing the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what this was.
Yeah.
And we have to get back to a point where we have at least one of the houses of the Congress, preferably both.
Yeah.
Because if we can get back the House, which is most likely, and I still believe we will, at that point we can reopen investigations. At that point we can look deeper if they decide into Kavanaugh.
I know, and it kills me to agree with you. And the reason
Well, don't die,
the
because-
reason it kills me to agree with you is I've always had this principle of being opposed to divided government. I don't like divided government because I feel that you get wishy-washy policy. And I've always wanted to have the people say, we want to move in this direction or we want to move in this direction, but darn it, make up your mind.
But do
You
we not
can't have it both ways?
But do we not have divided?
But now we have to have divided government.
But do we not already have divided government? At what, 520? Don't we already have it right now? Isn't the government already divided by everything we've seen this week and last week?
Well, no. I mean, technically, it's not divided government when one party holds all three
So you're talking
branches.
about legislative.
That's
as far as-
exactly
okay,
what I'm talking.
okay.
Well, I'm talking about the whole government.
Right.
Because
Well-
right now, the entire government is in the hands of the Republicans.
Yeah.
Including the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but see, this is what people don't understand when they were hoping the Republicans were going to do the right thing. The executive branch, is it corrupt right now?
Yeah.
The party holding the majority in the legislative, is it corrupt right now? So no matter what nominee came out of the other two corrupt branches,
No, I know.
the judiciary was going to go corrupt at some
I know.
point anyway.
And now we have to do something about it.
So you have to be opposed to a corrupt body.
Right.
So there's no such thing as we cannot have government working against itself because we have to stop the corruption.
Here's what I want to see.
Okay.
Okay. I want to see a non-lethal, non-violent, let me disclaimer that, a non-lethal, non-violent war in 2020. That's what I want to see.
A massacre or a
I
war?
want to see the alt-right put forward its agenda. I want to see the Democratic progressives put forward their agenda and let the people decide which way, once and for all, they want. We never get that kind of an election. We get passion on one side and then a Me Tooism on the other, or we get someone who, we just don't get that kind of an election. So let's have an election where the alt-right says everything it wants to say.
All or none. You want all or none?
Everything it fights for, and the other side says Medicare for all and free tuition in public colleges and climate change rules and all of these other things. And let's find out where the American people is, because according to all of the polling, the American people are progressives by huge numbers. They want an increase in the minimum wage federally. They want Medicare for all, or at least health care for all. They want protection against climate change. They want reasonable gun regulations. They want to keep Roe v. Wade. If you look at all of those numbers, that's what they want. Why don't they vote that way?
How many of those things did Hillary Clinton promise?
But when you promise it vaguely and when you promise it at the margins, she didn't promise it with any passion.
So with no passion, but she promised those
She
things.
promised Roe,
Okay.
but she certainly didn't step up on health care that much.
Bernie Sanders.
You know,
how many of those things did he promise?
Almost all of them.
With passion?
Yes.
Why didn't he win the nomination?
Because, can I be honest, it was rigged. You have something called superdelegates.
But you
it was
didn't have
the
a
Democratic establishment
but
that
see-
completely
but see, those are the-
discounted all of the primaries that he won.
But those same superdelegates put Obama over the top for the nomination over Clinton.
They did.
Was it rigged then?
I think that there was a feeling that it was Clinton's turn.
And
Right? And Obama blew them away. It's like you walk in sometimes, I'm an actor, right? So you walk in sometimes and the casting director thinks they know exactly what they want.
and then you walk in and they want
then
you.
someone, maybe not me, but someone walks in, blows them away, changes their entire concept.
So Obama changed the
And I
game.
think that's what Obama did.
He changed the game when he walked through the
He
door.
changed the game.
Okay.
And you had the possibility of either a first black president or a first woman president.
And that's the point.
So you had change,
But see-
whichever way you were going
But
to go.
that's the point I'm getting to. In 2008, the Democrats had that passion between two candidates. Mm-hmm. She was passionate, he was passionate.
Right.
And you knew, I think any common sense-minded person knew that whoever came out of the Democratic Party was going to probably be the president.
Right.
Because you could see the passion on
Yeah.
that side.
Yeah.
Now, McCain tried to come up with fake passion and fake
Right.
excitement with Palin and that kind of stuff, but obviously it didn't generate
And then
enough.
the opposite happened in 2016.
Exactly.
You know,
So
you had no passion from Hillary, and you had all of the passion on the side of the right wing.
I don't think we had a good candidate between Hillary and Bernie in 2016. Neither one of them blew my socks off, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Neither one of them really spoke to me on things of equality. Now, they both talked about it,
Right.
but nobody was really trying
No,
to.
that issue, you're right. It fell very, very flat.
And I think it fell flat because they realized, hey, I can't really follow up the first black president on
Right.
this issue, no matter where you think if he lived up to it himself or not.
Right. Now,
But-
we have another thing from behind the curtains, a cryptic comment.
Okay.
Obamacare. What about it?
Well, I think Obama cared.
Obamacare. So, yeah, Obama did care. So not only join the conversation, but behind the curtains, you might want to flesh that out.
Yeah.
You like it? You don't like it?
Sorry, but all answers must come in the form of a question.
Yes. Because I can say,
Oil can what?
yeah. You know, I could say Doritos.
So,
It's not an advertisement, but I can't do
so
that.
where do we
but,
go
you know.
from here? Tell me what needs to happen.
We
What are
have to go and vote. We've got to turn the House. And I was
Should the
talking with a friend of mine today who gave us me a ray of hope because I'm very pessimistic right now. And he gave me this ray of hope.
You're doing a lot better than when we talked earlier, man.
I know,
'cause-
but he said we're going to change the House, and then we're going to go to work on two things. Not just investigations, because that's all going to happen. Daytime TV, forget your soap operas,
Yeah,
folks.
that's dying.
Because it's going to be hearings, probably.
for a year.
For a year.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I think there will also be a return to the idea, which we haven't had in a while, that when there's an issue, like Medicare for All or something, that you kind of have hearings about it and have people come in from
that's my
different
point.
labor unions
They
or
have to-
nurses or whoever and talk about it.
Push an agenda. They have to have an agenda and push that agenda.
That's right.
Now, when you talked about investigations and hearings, and you and I have talked about the I word investigation and the I word impeachment.
Yeah.
Do they investigate Trump or do they begin investigating Kavanaugh? What's more important?
Oh, Trump.
You started Trump.
You got to go to Trump. You have to. And especially with all of the stuff in the New York Times. Remember that the House...
Man, we won't even have time to probably get into that
Remember, the House, by federal law...
Can get anybody's tax.
Can get anybody's tax records.
And you know who will probably lead Means and Ways, the Means and Ways Committee?
That one I'm not sure. I know who's going to lead Judiciary. That's
She's
Jerry
already on
Nadler.
it. Judy Chu.
Oh, Judy. Is she the ranking member?
She's tried to get his taxes already.
But is she the ranking member?
I think she is. She tried to get his taxes at the beginning of this term, and she was shot down.
Because we know Adam will take over House Intelligence.
Oh, yeah, and he'll probably get his taxes day one.
Yeah, Jerry Nadler from New York will take over Judiciary.
You know, and I'd also like to see them, whoever ends up in charge, let's push this investigation out there to the public.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what's in this thing and what we were talking
all of
about
this
here.
should be in the public.
Yeah.
We shouldn't hide.
Put sunshine on it.
That's the difference, I hope, between the Democrats and the Republicans, that we put sunshine on things.
Right.
We don't do it in the dark. We don't do it in a back room. As much as we're accused of it, but when we're accused of it, I call that a psychological term called projection.
Of course.
They always accuse us of doing what they do.
Or what they've done. Exactly.
That's right.
So we got about a minute left.
Ah.
Probably just enough time to get over to Studio B.
Oh, yes. We've got to shoot over to Facebook and run over there with all of our energy. But it's going to look a lot like this.
Well, don't stop for a couple of Kavanaughs.
Because it's a duplicate set.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Don't stop for any Kavanaughs along the way. Let's just
all right.
go right
Well,
on
I
over
think that's probably it for us, friends. So stay with us. We're going right to Facebook. And come back if you're not going to Facebook. Come back and see us next week. I'm Barry Gordon.
And I'm Andre Coleman.
And this has been NewsRap Live at 5.
We'll be back.
All right.